is much better than before, isn't it? Can
Yeah,
you do you see me? Do
I
you
just hit
see
the
me on the
record.
full screen like I see you on the full screen, or how's that work?
Yep, looking good. And yeah, I just click on gallery view. That's what I look at.
So you can see me kind of like full screen. I see you kind of full screen on the bottom and me on little screen on top.
Yeah, I see you like side by side on mine.
Oh, how do you do that?
At the top right, you should say like speaker view or gallery view. You want to just click
Oh, the
speaker view.
view, the right view tab. Okay. Gallery view. Okay.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
like that. Okay, cool, cool. See,
Yeah,
I
I like
like
it
that.
better.
So when we have it like this, when it goes on the channel, is this what the viewers see?
Yep, they're gonna see exactly like however I display it on mine, which is usually like this.
Well, cool. This will be much better improvement. Our third Zoom call and it'll be better content. And I will be able to do this hopefully at home on the weekend.
Definitely, yeah.
If worst case scenario, I should be able to do it in the truck too. Actually, I have the internet connection here at home, so preferably it'd be nice to be able to do this on Saturday night or Sunday when we
Yeah,
can. So,
that works out best. That way, we keep it to like our weekly recap and we just, post it up on the YouTube channel, whether it's, Sunday night or, Monday. I don't know. Either way, just maybe do
now
it.
does this light? I can turn this light off and see if it makes it better. Oops. I don't know if I'm dark. If I'm too dark, I'll turn the light on here. Am I too dark that way, or is it better to have the light on?
No, you're good. Yeah. No, I can see you good. Yeah, yeah, that's probably best so you don't have a backlight, or, don't,
Yeah.
but yeah, that light can kind of glare into the shot. But yeah,
And
it's good.
if I put this up here, like we were talking about, be creative. Oh, I guess that doesn't make a difference. It's good right here. I guess that's good.
Perfect.
So anyway,
Yes.
any opening thoughts you want to share before we dive in? You watched the video I just made really quick.
Yep. Yeah, I like that.
Um,
It's, I like that.
that was just really quick, just to give you an idea of kind of what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's like right along. I'm just closing out some of my stuff so I don't bog down the connection here. One sec. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's right on track with, everything that we've talked about at the end of the day, Um, this is just,
I like your video matrix t-shirt, by the way.
oh, thank you. Available at the store.
Plug on this. It's good. Actually, should probably get my sweatshirt out so I could wear it too next time.
Exactly. Um, yeah. Oh well. To your video, I love the direction of it. I think that's right on point with what we discussed, like right at the beginning when we started this, and here we are. It's been what? This is our third weekly recap. So, 3 weeks. Where do we come in 3 weeks? If you really think about it, the first goal, the first step of the staircase was basically you having a home for your videos on YouTube so that you can upload. So, within the first week, we had that done. We had the channel up and running. And now here we are. It's been 3 weeks later. So we've got, your channel up and running. You've got great content on there. Some videos have gotten lots of views, some videos not so much. We're not really focusing in on that too much right now. We're more or less focusing in on getting quality content up there and making sure that, we're we're doing what we need to do. Hey, how is this going to work? How are we going to work? How are we going to work like a well-oiled machine, which we've kind of been talking about this week too. Um, so, here we are. You're on your laptop, week number, ending week number 3, I think it is. I have to look at the calendar to really.
Yeah, it's about
Exact.
three. We're about 3 weeks into it,
Is it?
and
Yeah.
I guess what you're saying is I like to focus on not what's going wrong or focus on that, but kind of focus on what's going right, and so and making improvements. So even this video today, when I'm actually officially on my Mac Pro that I purchased almost over a month ago and I
Yeah,
haven't used
seriously.
yet, to me is just a step in the right direction. And all the personal development I've ever had, and I've had a lot, as you know, um, is one of the thoughts is you take micro actions, you take little baby steps, and you momentum is creating the way you create momentum is you just basically take little micro actions in a reasonable amount of time, and you look at the end game of where you're going, and you work backwards, and you kind of are honest about, are we on track, are we off track, where can we improve, what have we done right, those kinds of things, just honest assessment. And then when you're in a team environment, in our situation, we're in a collaborative environment, you and I, we're in the process of just defining our roles, what you bring to the table. And we talked about this before. I could have possibly done this all by myself, eventually learned everything. But I said on an earlier Zoom, some of my mentors have told me that you can take all the time to watch all that YouTube videos and try to learn how to do something and take a long time, like 6 months or a year, or you hire someone or collaborate with someone that already knows what you don't know. And you leverage on their strengths, okay, and you focus on your strengths, and so that you don't waste all that time, getting ready to get ready. And that's what we talked about in the beginning of why we collaborated, is because we both bring something to the table. And I bring a lot to the table. I'm trying to that video, I'm trying to establish kind of what is driving to Tokyo. You know, um, how did it come into being? You know, how did this all get started? And you know, and with the idea, I want the viewers to watch it and be able to kind of get an aha moment within their own life, to realize that I'm just an ordinary person who, 12, I mentioned 12 years ago, I was washing dishes at Talkie's restaurant. That's why I wanted to show some of that footage. And I was in a transitionary period, knowing I didn't want to go back to driving a limo, or doing massage. Just wanted to start a new chapter. But I didn't know what that new chapter was. And I got on a train, went to California, and had an idea might be truck driving. Just like I just kind of bring this back to you. You've talked about that part of what you've experienced is it's kind of awakened a curiosity with you about truck driving, about, wow, this is actually pretty cool. It's kind of a no-brainer. It kind of makes sense now that I'm kind of watching your videos and seeing how it is. I was at that place 12 years ago. And now I've gone full through the whole experience. And now 12 years later, I'm at the point where by collaborating with you, I'm hoping that the viewers and subscribers that come in the future will, by your discovery process and your own experience with me, defining what truck driving is and the driving to Tokyo, that they kind of live through it through your experience too. They're seeing us talk back and forth, and we're just early on in this. And I just want to say this one thing coming up for me, and I mentioned this before. I think a really big shift is going to happen whenever you finally come to Arizona and you meet me for the first time, and you're not watching the videos, the truck and trucking experience from an outside perspective, actually in the truck with me, and you're sitting there in the passenger seat, and we have face-to-face real contact. There's nothing that can replace real contact and real connection. And then I can almost guarantee when you're sitting there, you're going to be like, whoa, this is so cool. Okay. And what I'm hoping is the people, when we're at that stage in this journey together, the people watching that will also experience that too. Like I can see it clear as day. And the other thing that came up for me, and I'll just stop with this, is it's the whole thing. Like I really want you to come out to Arizona, fly out here. I'll pick you up at the airport. You jump in the truck with me. We go all the way. We do the dedicated and come back here to where I am, the studio, and actually see the studio. And we're actually creating something here in the studio together. So you're experiencing the whole thing instead of from a distance. You're actually in it. And I think when that happens, this whole channel is gonna like take a whole nother level of intimacy and reality and that's what I'm really looking forward to that. And I think all of this is just a prelude to all of that. It's kind of like a buildup
Oh,
to
definitely. I
that.
mean,
So
yeah, like
that's
think
kind of
about
how
it.
that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a great energy. It's a great vibe, and yeah, that's part of what we like, what we really had thought about when it comes to this. When we were thinking long term, just 3 weeks ago about this, that's definitely something that is part of what we're doing is building this. Like anything you do, you have to put things in place, so that you can actually go to those next steps. So we're just doing like we started off in our conversation with before. Um, like when we first started off 3 weeks ago, we kind of got a feel for what you wanted to do. We were kind of just starting off, and all these other ideas just kind of came out. And I feel like that's what's happening now too. We're 3 weeks into it. We're seeing this progress. We're seeing, things we want to do as far as like, talking to special guests, bringing people on here, people who are in the trucking community, people who are in the personal development community, people who are in the video community, people that, you've known years ago that you've connected with that maybe you haven't seen in a while that you want to bring on here. So there's so many different steps coming up ahead. So I love everything that we've talked about, and I think that this channel and this project is growing right on track with what we've put in place with just our ideas of what we're doing. Um, and just to see where we are today, you uploaded your first YouTube video yourself the other day on that channel, and you're on your MacBook today. And I love it because we're moving along. 3 weeks from now, where are we gonna be? What would we have? What will we be creating at that point? So, at the end of the day, I think the videos are going in a great direction right now. We're finding your story. You're also plugging in some real day in the life type stuff, and then doing the time travel stuff. Going back, doing that flashback, which you're getting into that mode as well because with your the new disk drive and or just even recording the screen. So either way, we're going to be going back in time a little bit here with you. So I'm excited for those videos to come in, and then the videos that we do that are geared towards um, you know building those bridges so people can find you, find us, find driving to Tokyo, discover maybe somebody's at a bad point in their life and they just are looking for a way to travel and make money, and then you just boom, light bulb goes off in their head. That's kind of like the vibe of what this channel is about. Inspiration, education, reality. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. You're right on there. See, I mentioned this when we were kind of texting a little bit, but I like talking about it. Um, one of the things I'm trying to establish now is, the fact that they talk what they call it, destiny, whatever. They say luck is on preparation meets opportunity. And as I started looking back myself, reflecting on, I reflect a lot when I'm driving. I use driving time for meditation time a lot of times. I turn off the music and I have 5 hours just to sit and drive. And it's like unconscious competence. So when I'm on the open highway, it can be a very like Zen-like meditative experience. And you know how like sometimes you just are in the shower and something pops in or something, you just get this clarity that
Yeah.
happens. And so I realized that this whole driving to Tokyo thing really just didn't happen October 17th when I went to Tokyo. When I saw these discs, in fact, I was just these discs right here. I had these in my cabinet for a long, long time. I completely forgot that I had these discs. And then I thought, wow, what are these? And I looked at them and I thought, wow, these are interesting. Oh, wow, this is my whole Denver life. The last chapter there, that was
Wow.
14 years ago. And I thought, well, let me just check this out. And then I watched them, I'm making a very important point. I watched them and I went, wow. In the Barrister building, I was doing these video collages and I was not driving a truck, but I was driving a limo during the day. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have all this technology we have today. And I was coming back to the office, and I was my Barrister building. I was recording every single night, and I had all these videos and DVDs, and I was like really passionate about it. And, I did it for 4 years. And in fact, I was telling people during at the Hyatt Hotel that I worked at, oh, I drive a limo during the day and I make movies at night. But my point is, I completely forgot about that because I was like 14 years ago. That was another city, another chapter, another part of my life. And then it dawned on me that that was like the seed. That's why when I opened up iMovie with the new technology today and the iPhone, it was like it just picked up where we left off. Is like wow, and all that passion came back in unconscious competence and mixing really fast and doing it really fast. The point is, all that wasn't wasted time. That was I planted that seed back then, and all these years have gone by, and now with new technology, I just picked up where I left off. And then I realized it went back to Brazil when I went to Brazil twice in 3 months. And I went back to when I went to Morocco. You know, all these. Now I began to realize this has been happening for how many? 44 years. And what the reason I'm sharing this on this channel is not so much to talk about my story, but to help people realize that they have their own story and to be reflective on how their present time right now has connections all through their life, and they may not have been aware of it. One of my mentors called it angel threads. He said that we all have angel threads through our whole life. Like we get kind of like angels, or we get guidance through our whole life, and sometimes we just don't see it. And then you have these aha moments, and that's kind of what I'm experiencing now. That's one of the I want to establish that in the videos. And when you said, I'll just wrap up with this one thing. When you said that it's okay because the stuff you're making today, the new stuff will come after that, and it'll be an evolution and it'll be pushed down. So as you're making improvements and telling the story and refining the story, the new, you're going to evolve will be on the top. So not worry. Like I was even telling Sylvia, my ex-Brazilian girlfriend, I think I'm going to have to flush out all this stuff on the front end, put it in a new folder, and start a new fresh thing with new stuff, because I think was the beginning stuff, and maybe we should just stick it on the side. And then you told me, well, no, don't worry about that. It'll just naturally, the new stuff will keep coming up. And that's what the people 6 months from now or a year from now will see.
Yeah, you got to think
Okay.
long term on this, and that's really, there are definitely some short term gains like what we're doing right now, baby steps, and then really, the ideas that spring off of this, like, hey, I got this idea to make this video about this topic, and then boom, you could go viral any day, moving forward during this process because you're actively thinking about it, you're posting videos every day. We could just strike a nerve with YouTube and then something goes. So I don't want you to think that like that's out of the question. And at the end of the day, the real focus is just putting content out there. It doesn't matter if it's the best quality. It doesn't matter anything, honestly. Like, you just got to get the content out there, and that's what we're doing. And here we are 3 weeks into it, and we're really honing in and thinking about what it is that we want to create long term. We're thinking about videos this week, we're thinking about videos today, so it's like we're always thinking about the process. So big things are going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And I mean, if you look at it right now, 3 weeks into it, less than a month, big things have already happened. I mean, one of the videos has almost got 700 views. Almost 400 of that was in the first 24 hours. And again, not that that really matters, because your channel's not at that level where the views are going to really make a difference. Once the channel's monetized, then you'll start to see a difference in all that stuff, and that stuff will really matter. So I just
Well, the other thing too,
yeah,
Mike, sorry for
yeah,
interrupting you, that
go ahead.
I'm focusing on is I try to I don't want to say look at the worst case scenario, but I try to like when I'm looking at what I'm doing, I think, okay, I like the vision, I like where I'm going, I like to remain positive, but I refine it down to the simplest level, and I just enjoy doing this. I
That's
enjoy
it.
coming home on the weekend instead of watching TV. Even instead, I have YouTube TV and I don't even watch that anymore. I'd rather come home and make my own TV. I'd rather come home and create my own video artistry. And if I do that all weekend long, I go back to work on Monday and then I continue to do that through my week and I enjoy it. That's all that matters to me right now. And I do think that love and joy and passion has a level of magic and magnetism to it. Like if you do something not out of just making money or likes or shares, or you have that, oh, I'm going to do this because I'm going to be the next Casey or next, you know, um, Peter McKinnon or whomever. I follow the guys that are really good, and there was a point that I even thought I could never be them because I don't even know how to make a movie. I don't even know how to edit, so I could never even to go there. But now at a point, I don't think about making a movie anymore. I'm starting to get into that unconscious competence where a month or two ago, I was thinking I couldn't even have a YouTube channel because I couldn't even make a movie. How can I have a YouTube channel if I don't even know how to make a movie?
Put the
Okay.
cart before the horse type thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm saying is I enjoy doing it. And look at, like we've talked about, if you look any of the people that are really, really successful, they had a beginning point, and it's kind of fun to look back at their videos because they would themselves would say, look you should see my earliest videos, they were
Exactly.
real raw
And people
and
would like to see that. So think about later on, like let's say you do make a video that goes viral or gets a lot of attention. Well, those people are gonna love to come back to the channel and then go through those videos. Hey, what else does this guy get? What else is going on? What's this? What's that? What else can I learn? So that's a beautiful part of this process, and that's something that I learned at the very beginning. Being online, being in the video space, is that you're going to make videos that you might not like, you might want to take down, and then you can do it. You can take it down if you want, but then who are you stopping from seeing that that you could inspire? Who are you? What are you taking away from the scene here because you think it might not be valuable? It's funny because Michelle made a post today and she's like, oh, maybe I should have made this post on like Monday. It kind of feels like it would be like a good like start of the week post. And I'm like, hey, you made it when you made it, and that's the divine timing, and that's what it's all about. You followed your guidance, and she got a bunch of comments and shares, and people were like, this is great. I needed this today, and this and that, and so it was like, you just got to follow that vibe. You got to follow your heart, follow that internal guidance, and then any doubt or anything in between, that's just that's normal. Just don't
well,
focus
I
on
don't
it.
know if you heard that Woody Allen story. Woody Allen, back when he was really in the zone and he was doing really well, one of the first major hits he had was Annie Hall, this movie that's probably before your time, but it was if you check it out on YouTube, it's called Annie Hall, and it was one of the first ones he got an Academy Award for or something. But my point is, he wrote the screenplay and he just thought it was just really bad. He threw it in the trash. He just said, "Oh, this is garbage." and he threw it in the trash. And a friend of his picked it up and said, "This is actually really good. What are you doing throwing this away?" And then comes Annie Hall, which she ended up getting like a Academy Award for best,
Yeah,
director or something. And he
exactly.
was throwing it in the trash because he just thought it was garbage.
Right. It's just, and
Because we
that's
could be
exactly.
our own worst critic sometimes.
Well, even like, no matter who you are, you got to kind of let go of like, all these different thoughts. You just got to kind of put it out there. What do you want it to be? And do what you need to do to get there, whatever it is. And sometimes you're pushed to make different decisions, and sometimes you're pushed to, take more action and do things differently. And that's really what where success comes from, at those little tight points where, you're forced to grow. So, that's the beautiful thing. You're doing your Mac today. You've uploaded a video the other day. It's like those things. Once you get in the zone with that, you don't even have to think about it. You can just open up your Mac laptop. Boom, you're in, no problem. Pulling up a Zoom, hosting a Zoom if you want. It's just a matter of time. So it all becomes motor skills at the end of the day.
Now, what's interesting too, going back to the video matrix too, just briefly talk about that. I'm still tripping. Oh, this recording stopped. Okay, it dropped off.
Yeah, I don't know what
Um,
happened there. One second, hold on. Let me fix my camera.
it says recording. Well, record the continue what we already did.
Yeah, that's gonna stay there. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk about Video Matrix.
What I was going to say is, I think it's interesting because I didn't even know Michelle or you at all, and somehow Michelle just popped on, and we started just doing the video, the voice text back and forth on Facebook, just talking about life, talking about stuff, nothing about Video Matrix at all. And I felt this rapport, and I felt the sincerity, and I felt that coming from you guys. And that's the whole attraction marketing thing, is you just be authentic, your real self, the best version of yourself. And then there's a point eventually people want to know about you. Well, by the way, what do you do?
Right.
And I was at a point that I was totally cool with dropping off the face of the planet and not doing social media or video, and just driving a truck for the rest of my life, you know. And then when I met you guys, I thought, well, maybe it'd be good to take this 90-day challenge, because just get back in front of the camera, and I don't know if I want to do this. Or and then I was even, this is what I'm leading up to, I was even thinking, with my schedule, it's getting really hard to make this 5-minute video every day and watch a video. Okay, that was where my head was at just in September doing the 90-day challenge. And now this last month I made like 100 videos or something. Same job, same schedule, same guy. And now I've gone from what I was thinking, oh, maybe I can't even complete the 90-day challenge because it's too much to drive a truck and try to do this. And now I didn't I've been doing like pretty much 3 or 4 of these videos a day. Like, I don't even think about it. And the point is, some type of quantum leap occurred between September and now we're working together. And that this all has come by me making the decision to do the Video Matrix challenge, and just going, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know where it's going to lead, but I'm going to do this. And here we are. It's September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It's a few months later, and here we
Well,
are. You've helped me launch my channel.
I love that, because part of what we're talking about with the Video Matrix, Michelle and I, like back in September when you started with us, the Video Matrix was around 4 years ago, and we kind of like, you know, it went on a little pause for a little while, and then we at that point we're like, hey, let's get this thing going. We really wanted that to be what we wanted, like our number one thing. Just like you want what you want, and like anyone else wants what they want. So what we did was we focused on it. We really wanted to bring it through. I really got in the zone, Michelle got in the zone, and we really focused on what we needed to do to make that happen. And look, you signed up and got started September when we relaunched that program. And again, here we are. So another mirror to your story is like, look at how it really all connects. All these different veins, if you will, or roots connect like a tree system. Just in the background that you wouldn't even notice. So, that's what it's all about, following your heart, because you might meet somebody too down the road, through your videos, that you just become lifelong friends with. Who knows? You could
Oh, there's no
find
doubt.
friendship and
What I want,
companionship through it with anybody.
what I wanted to say, I was doing a video today talking about my ex-girlfriend Sylvia, and about how we met on the computer through the internet when it was brand new, 1998. I bought a old clunky Gateway computer. It cost me like $2,500. It was a got dial up. It was on Hotmail, and Yahoo was brand new. And I didn't even know, I didn't even have any comprehension that you could actually be talking to someone in another country, another part of the world. And I started dialoguing with Sylvia. She picked four, she was looking for someone to talk to in the United States. Out of all the cities she could pick, she picked my city, Denver. She picked 4 ads on Yahoo, man seeking woman, thinking they're 4 different guys. I put 4 different ads on my work, my taxi life, my philosophy. Out of hundreds and hundreds of people on Yahoo, she picked Denver, and she picked my 4 ads, thinking they're 4 different guys. And I was a taxi cab driver, and I'm like corresponding with her. And finally I said, hey, we have a good vibe going. Why don't we have a cup of coffee? And she's like, well, it wouldn't be convenient. And I'm like, well, if you live in Boulder or you live in Colorado Springs, I drive a taxi. I can go see you. It's no big deal. She said, I'm actually further than that. I said, well, I mean, even California. She's like, well, I'm in Brazil. And I'm like, Brazil? You mean I've been talking to someone on the computer in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil? And she said, we'll probably never meet. We'll probably just be pen pals and stuff. Well, one thing led to another. We had over 2,000 pages of email. It's my real live Brazilian You've Got Mail story. Ended up going to Brazil and spending a whole month with her. And 3 months later, spent a whole nother month with her. And we're still friends today, 20 something years later. And what I'm saying is that came out of the internet, of just someone that randomly saw. And that's the power of the internet. And to me, it's not quantity. Yeah, quantity is cool if you have like a video that's just like 400,000 views. But to me, it's more quality. It's the quality of the friendships. I don't mind if we make these videos and one person sees our video and goes, this is exactly what I've been looking for all my life. How do I get started? I'm ready to go to Phoenix right now. How do I get there? And I change that person's life.
Exactly.
That's
the main
all that
focus.
matters to me.
Right.
There's one story. That's one story I'll just share with you, and I'll hear your feedback on. One of my author friends told me the story about this little boy. This author was trying to figure out the end of his book, okay, about making a difference. And he was walking along the beach. And there's a point, I had a lot of best-selling authors as clients. That's why I have these stories. But he's walking along the beach trying to figure the end of his book. And he wanted to talk about making a difference. And he saw this little boy down at the end of the beach. And he couldn't tell what he was doing, but he got closer and closer, and he realized he was picking up these starfish that had washed on the beach. And there was thousands of them. And he walked up to the little boy and he goes, why are you doing this? There's thousands of these starfish here. You're never going to throw them all back in the ocean. And he just picked up this one. I almost start crying when I even hear this story. He picked up this one. It said, it made a difference to this one. And that's all that matters. It makes a difference to this starfish.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get to all of them on the beach, but this one. And then this author, who was a client of mine, said he picked up starfish and bought one by one. They threw them in the ocean together that day. And that ended up the end of his book. And that just ended. That was a serendipity kind of thing. He decided to go down to the beach, kind of think about what he was going to do. And he randomly met this little boy. And that's how life is. You don't focus on the thousands. You focus on the one that's meant to hear your message.
Right. Exactly.
That's all that matters. The rest will take care of itself, But if you remain pure in your message, in your intention, magic can happen, but you have to remain pure. That I'm just trying to reach the ones that are meant to hear my message.
Definitely. Yeah, that's exactly how how I started my journey as well. You know, that was my focus. It wasn't about anything else other than just interesting people, like saying, hey, what's this person talking about, and then having an impact on them as well. So getting people like kind of, hey, what's this person talking about, and then influencing their thought process to think a little bit differently for that day. Like, maybe I should think about that. Like I always love to bring that little positive light or that little thought of the day. So, like anything that just makes people think. And that was really it still is now, my number one thing that I do is to inspire people at the end of the day, whether we work together or not. The number one thing is to give value. That's really, what you do. That's what we all do. That's what we know. All of us who connect together, through the video matrix and through what we're working on, they understand that to a level too. So yeah, that's
How
all.
did you get started? Just a quick question on, and
Yeah.
like, I'm just curious, when do you think, what age do you think you were? Do you remember when you kind of had the moment where you were interested in personal development and the kind of things we've talked about? What do you remember when that was, when that happened?
Yeah, so it's been like, yeah, I've always been like, kind of on the positive side as much as I could be. Obviously, that was really like a core of who I was. However, I never really got into personal development until about like what 2014, 2014, 2015. So I mean, still fairly not really at the beginning stages. I mean, I've done a lot of it. Like I've like you have probably listened to a lot of audios, read a lot of books, cut out all the time wasting stuff like TV and things like that, and just really, immersed yourself in it. So that's what I did. Same thing. So yeah, that was my wake up.
It was about 7 years ago. So you said you're
Yeah,
36,
roughly.
so it was like at 29 or age 28 or 29, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It started to kind of trickle in around then. Yeah.
And then you and Michelle, how long have you guys been married?
So since 2014, we got married. We met each other in 2008. So yeah.
Wow, so it's around the same kind of time frame. Because she's in the same wavelength, you
Yeah.
guys are so,
Oh yeah, we're
when you
definitely in the same boat with a lot of stuff like personal development. Like we really are great mirrors of each other, and we have that opposite side too, where like we see things a little differently, and then you know, we we both learn something from each other's point of view sometimes, and we get a kick out of it sometimes, and we just learn to really, I don't know, just
you learn to agree to disagree sometimes, and just
yeah.
to
I mean, well,
respect
it's
another
like
person's.
some people want to be in a relationship, some people don't. It's like, well, her and I, we both definitely want to be in a relationship, so there are going to be times where you don't see eye to eye, and there are going to be times where you learn. So that's all part of it. So
And you guys are really great together. I like when you guys come on and say, this is the Aldos,
oh yeah,
your messages,
it's the elbows.
that's what kind of got me inspired to connect with you guys. You guys work together as a team. I think it's one of the most magical things you can do is when you come together with another person, like a soulmate or something, and you feel really aligned with them, and you can spend your life doing what you guys are doing. And you're not. And what's cool is you don't have like a day job you go to, and like she has a day job she goes to, and you guys just kind of see each other and have dinner every evening together. You guys are
Well, that's
kind of
how it was, and that's how the personal development and believing in a different vision, and then kind of putting your story out there and getting involved in a different kind of because we were 9 to 5 people. That's exactly who we were. Is like I would be coming home from work and she would be going to work. So
oh, really?
that was like that's kind of like the breaking point for our lives was how do we get to be together more? Because it was just like you said, you go to work and you have dinner. And for us, it's like we're living for the weekends and staying up late and all that stuff. So yeah, we were just like everybody. You get at a point where there's
Like
like
everyday people.
yeah, there's just a transition point where you decide you want to do something and you either do it or you don't. And in this case, we did it. And personal development, video has been a huge part of that because learning personal development and then doing video, it totally amplifies the personal development aspect of it where you learn it, you hear yourself, you're feeling it, you're speaking it. There's a lot of change that happens when you do that. So yeah, that's kind of how we got into that personal development field, and then we just kind of went with it, decided to just do things we were passionate about, and then went for it. You know, that's where we are today.
And then the van life, the whole van life too, minimalism, van life, and
Yeah. So
giving up a house,
right.
all the trappings most people think are important, like a house, a car, job, security, all that. You guys just went into the mystery, went into
Yeah, we did
take
it.
that big.
We just said, hey, let's go for it, and you know, like anything, that life was a 9 to 5 work life, and that's how that life was built. And this life, the travel life, it's obviously you can't fit. We have an RV as well. You can only fit so much in these two things. So it's put us in a place where we're living minimal too. Just like you're living more minimal um, when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So I like the fact that we live more minimal. We have only what we need, and if there's stuff, extra stuff that we want, yeah, we'll splurge. We'll do things like that. We're, however, just living a very simple life, having fun, traveling, and doing what we love, which is travel and sharing through video, social media, connecting with people, video matrix. You know it all. You know what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, we have similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, for a guy my age, I really don't have much. In fact, it was kind of funny when I originally got this house, it was completely vacant, and I had nothing. I didn't have any furniture. I didn't have anything. I walked in this 3-bedroom house, and my parents just gave it to me pretty much and said, now you have a home. And I'm like, first thing I thought, well, it looks like I have to buy some stuff. I have to buy it. Okay. I'll tell you a funny story related to this. I lived in Denver. I'm so weird. I lived in Denver. I moved to Denver with just my car and my massage table. And I got a really nice apartment that was one of these nice luxury studio apartments. And for the first year, I didn't even get furniture. I didn't have anything. I had my how you take a massage table and fold the legs up and put the massage table flat on the ground. I had my massage table as my bed, and people would come visit me in the apartment. It was completely empty, like I had moved out, like I was taking them in the apartment. What? Oh, you're moving out? No, no, this is how I live. I just had my table. That was it. I didn't have any couches, any furniture, no, nothing. I just like that. I actually like this, the simpler the better. But when I got this house, I had to buy a bed, and then I had to buy a desk. And I didn't have to, but I slowly furnished the place.
Right.
But I like just having everything. I've gotten to the point now I would prefer to have just everything I can carry on the truck, and then that's it. I have actually official minimalist bag that the minimalists, recommend. I actually have the bag that they recommend, and I took that to Japan with me. In fact, I left one of my suitcases in Japan when I left with my friend Amy, because I thought I don't even want to take this back to the States, because I'll just leave it with you. But little did I know it was going to be like 2 more years before I go back again,
Right.
because I thought it was going to be back in 4 months. But
Yeah.
I just think simpler is better.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you definitely can feel it. You know what I mean? Like, we used to have a garage and basement full of stuff, like just tons of stuff, what you think you might need, stuff you don't need, and just things that accumulate over the years. So, not having any of that, and really just being like, wow, everything that it really matters is right here where I am right now. And, I mean, we have, like I said, we have an RV too, that doesn't really have anything that of that much importance. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we've kind of, our mindset has changed about what's important to us. Some people might think like a bunch of shoes are important to them, and other people might think like looking out of window to a flowing river in Colorado is everything to them. So, that's,
Yeah, and you guys have a tendency to camp out in the middle of nowhere,
yeah. Well, I mean,
right?
we're totally self-contained here in the van, so we can be anywhere that we can get to, really. Off road. I mean, there's some limitations off road, but like there's where we are now. There's a dirt road, but nothing too crazy. We've gone off where there's just kind of like, you got to kind of wobble a little bit, or a little mud, little leaning, but yeah, not too much doing that though.
I did that the other night. I don't know if you, maybe I'll play more of that. But the other night, it's now what, Saturday,
Yeah.
coming in, I was falling asleep and the truck stop was full. And I have to be careful actually with the rig with this because I've gotten in trouble before. But there was just a big dirt lot, Quartzsite. Quartzsite is a place where there's a lot of van people that it's famous for people settling and just camping out there for months at a time. So I was on a big vacant lot overnight and I kind of thought it was kind of cool. But I have gotten in trouble with the rig a couple times where you think it's okay and you go driving in this big rig with 40,000 pounds of cargo and you go in this mud and you just sink in the
Oh,
mud. And then you have to call a tow truck to pull you out. And the company doesn't like that too much because it's like maybe $400 or $500 to send a tow truck to pull you out of instead of you park outside the dirt and you walk up and you test it all, make sure it's solid. And I
right.
even got stuck in my own front yard with the truck in sand. It wasn't even snow or mud. I had my truck parked outside here and it was embarrassing. I got stuck in the sand where I couldn't get the truck out of the sand. You know how you start spinning and it started going deeper and deeper.
Oh
And I
yeah.
couldn't get out. I had to pay for a tow truck to come and tow my truck out of the ditch right outside of my front
Oh
yard.
my
And
god.
I paid for it.
Oh,
But
geez. So you know
so
how
I
much
have
it
to be
costs.
careful. Yeah, but if I had a van like you guys have and the way you're living, I would probably do the same thing, kind of because that's kind of how I live anyway. Because most of the time when I'm on long haul in between the cities, I don't know if you've been up to Nevada between Reno and in Las Vegas, but there's miles and miles and miles of nothing. Like you can drive literally 4 or 5 hours and you don't even see a town
Oh wow.
and hope that you don't break down.
Yeah,
Like
don't really
some
like those
places,
parts that much. Driving like
what's
that,
that?
just driving like that where there's like nothing around for so long. You're like,
No,
oh
well, there's nothing when you're in the truck because we can't repair our own tires. If we get a flat tire, we have to call someone to come and
yeah,
fix the tire. And you're like 250 miles from the nearest town and you get a blowout, they have to drive like 250 miles to repair your tire.
right. It's
So
just
you're driving and hoping that nothing happens.
yeah,
But I've done that a lot. I've driven miles and miles up middle of nowhere where there's absolutely nothing. So it's kind of a cool feeling because the average person, as you know, lives in the city. They depend on the city and they have to have a house in the city and they have to have the stores and the whole infrastructure, the whole
right,
matrix in the city. And if they don't have that, they feel a little bit lost. But once you get out of that, you break free like you have. It's kind of a cool feeling. You can probably go out and see the stars now at night.
yeah. Just
And
step right outside the
that's what's
door.
cool. That's what's cool about this little town that I'm in. Has only one signal light and has no street lights. So I told my mom, I got up at like 1 in the morning. I like to just go out, see all the stars, and there's no sounds, there's no traffic, there's
Oh
no
yeah.
nothing out. Like where this house is actually out in the middle of nowhere in a way. But I like that. But I applaud you for doing that.
Hey,
And
thanks.
I
Yeah,
know there's
traveling's
going to be
good.
people that are going to watch this channel and also be curious about that, the van life, the minimalist life, just being disconnected from what you think normal people should be doing. You can be one of the crazy ones. But
Exactly.
anyway, that's what I have to say. Do you have any thoughts about this coming week? Any ideas or insights or anything you want to communicate to me? Look to kind of focus on this coming week.
Yeah. So basically, uploading every day. At least getting one video uploaded per day, and those something that along the keywords of something we can target in, and maybe some kind of like simple like how to trucking thing could be anything that you can think of, or like I said, I've got keywords, and I was sending you some of the keywords and talking to you about some of the keywords. We just got to pick one and start, and just kind of I think that music one is cool because you like music, and I don't like I said I don't know if we can post too much of a song, but like I said, I will edit the video so that you can just kind of tell what the songs are, and then I'll like kind of cut it together, make it flow, and maybe just use like a little
Yeah, well, I have found they don't usually, if you don't like p- play more than like 30 seconds or 10 seconds or 50, have you ever heard the radio stations where they have a contest where they play like a millisecond of a
Oh
song,
yeah, I
and
remember.
you have to try to guess the song.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I don't know about you, but like because I've gone through so much music, classic rock and stuff, I can hear a millisecond of an instant of a song, and I know this
Oh
is Led
yeah,
Zeppelin, or I know this is Pink Floyd or something.
I've got
And
that with a lot
and
of
because
stuff
you
too.
hear it over and over and over again. So that's why I was asking you, can I play a little bit? Because I could say, like, for example, On the Road Again, I could have just a snippet of, oh yeah, that's Willie Nelson. And then
Well,
like Jackson
like
Brown,
like I said, if you
Running
just
on
make the
Empty.
if you just make the video with your top 5 songs, whatever it may be, I'll go and get like little clips of the song and like put in like just a little bit of that song. You know what I mean? When I do the editing process with it. So that way we can kind of keep it okay with, oh, Doug just dropped off. Okay, Doug. Hold on. Pause this. There you go. You're muted though.
Okay, I think it back. Well,
Yep,
I
you're good.
guess it's probably good to start winding down anyway. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
we were just when you just dropped off, we were just talking
We're
about.
talking about the song
Oh
that
yeah,
what you're saying is just talk about the song, but don't necessarily have to play the clip of the song. You'll do that,
exactly right.
and then you'll look it up. Yeah, it's kind of funny too. I just mentioned that there's certain songs like there's a Wallflower song, One Headlight,
Oh yeah, I love
that
that
I
song.
get it. I love that song, the beat of it and stuff. So I do use certain songs that I start driving to. Like I get up in the morning and this is my theme song for driving. It gets me in the right mode. And sometimes if I really like, I'll play that song 5 times in a row, you know, because it just gets me in the zone, and it gets me in the right mood for trucking.
Oh
And
definitely.
so I have, and it changes. And I'm sure every truck driver uses music
Yeah,
on the
the thing
road.
is that it's your own thing. You know what I mean? And that's how you can make it special. That's how we can keyword it to, get people to see the video, get people to find out, hey, who is this guy Doug? What's driving to Tokyo? I like his song selection. Let me check him out. That's the idea behind it, to get,
I would almost want to be creative, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but um, I wanted to hear some Japanese music, Japanese women rock bands and stuff.
do you listen
And
to any
it's kind
Japanese
of
music?
funny. What's that?
Do you listen to any Japanese music?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is because I go to Japan all the time, and I love the culture. I started typing in like Japanese women rock bands, and they're pretty cool. I could actually even send you a couple like off the channel, like just links in your messenger,
You
because
could
it's
even do a video just about that, like the top 5 trucking Japanese songs, maybe that.
I don't know if they have it segmented to, but some of these Japanese women rockers, they really rock it out, man. They're just actually really cool, but it's all in Japanese. And even though you can't understand it, and the flip side I wanted to bring up, a lot of, if you talk to any Japanese people, the way they started learning English is they started singing, the English songs. And one of my Japanese friends, Shikako, she loves going to those karaoke, those kyoto, whatever they call those things, where you go in and you play music. I don't know if you know this, but in Japan, in fact, I'll play a little clip of her. She loves going to these places because they have a booth. It's like a recording studio, and you have all these songs, and you play these songs, and it's unlimited alcohol. You rent them out for like two hours, and you just drink as much alcohol as you want. They just keep bringing beer, whatever, and then you sing. I'm horrible at singing, so I'm not the biggest fan of this because I'm so bad at singing. But she loves it, so because I love her and she loves doing this, we always go out to dinner, we go to one of these places and so on and so forth. But you get a kick out of that. But they're very popular in Japan. It's very popular to go. I don't think they're as popular here. But my
You have
point
just
is
like a
most of the
karaoke
songs
club
are,
or something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we have them here, I think,
Oh yeah, yeah. Karaoke, of course. Yeah.
but
Oh
they're
yeah.
very popular there. But they're mostly American songs, is one of my point. They're mostly American songs that
Yeah, it's
people
funny
sing.
to see the different cultures and how like there's that, American tie to it as well, just like it's pretty cool. I love it. Just it's great to just see different points of where people are at, and then even you bringing that into this too, because not many people, there might be so many people out there that love trucking that never even thought about Japan or Tokyo or anything about that. So there you are, somebody who, you can connect with them on the trucking level, and then boom, you can connect them over to this travel
Oh yeah, well, I'm
Tokyo.
actually doing that with LS, LS Liz, or
Yep.
she blew my mind. She blew my mind that she said she lived there 6 years. Like she was so humble about when we were talking. She said, "Oh yeah, I've been to Japan. I really love the culture." And then I found out later she's not only been loves the culture, but she lived there for 6 years.
Yeah.
I've been there for 6 months, and she's on a completely different level. She's actually lived there for 6 years.
And you work for the same company, so it's kind of
Yeah, I thought
interesting.
that was so because I saw her coming out of the driver's lounge. And to be honest with you, I'm real conscious of hitting on women truck drivers, especially if they're attractive, because the guys are all I was probably always hitting on them. And she's leaving, and my inner voice said, you should talk to her. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to make her feel like I'm hitting on her or something. But I walked up, she was having a cigarette, and I just started talking to her. And I said, I was actually talking about the channel. I said, you ought to check out. You seem like you'd be really photogenic, and it's really unusual to have a women truck driver. You break all the stereotypes, and let me show you how to make a movie. And I showed how to make a movie real quick, and then one thing led to another, and she was talking to Madeline the same time I was. So I saw another woman the other day. Oh, she definitely broke the stereotypes. She was real thin, and she had all these tattoos everywhere, and she was like maybe 23 years old, and she was a truck driver. So I get kind of excited when I see people that are kind of breaking the stereotype
Oh
of
yeah,
what.
there's so many people like truck driving now. It's just, yeah, there's all different types of people, all different ages. It's pretty interesting. Anyone can do it. At the end of the day, you just got to go through the training and have the confidence, right?
To me, it's a little bit like the biker culture. It's a subculture. I think like motorcycle and the biker culture is a little bit like the trucker culture. They kind
Yeah,
of like have
I can
that
see that.
same, and a lot of truck drivers have motorcycles too. But I think it's a great once you like. I'm looking forward to you coming out and actually experiencing it. Have you when you
Yeah,
guys
I
are
am too.
traveling? Have you guys gone to a truck stop? Have you stopped at truck stops to take a shower or anything
Well,
before?
usually we have a shower within our van here, so
Okay,
we have fully everything that we need. So when
so
we
you don't
actually
really have to go out.
right when we had our when we traveled with our 30-foot travel trailer, we would stop at truck stops and park there mostly in between places, just because you could just pull off easy and get in there and get out. So yeah, it was cool. We actually didn't mind truck stops. We actually liked different truck stops, different snacks, and it's we don't mind it.
So you've been, my point is you've kind of been exposed to it because the average
Yeah.
person, there are truck stops that it's in a little town that is also a store. Like they have liquor and they have beer and they have food and they have grocery. They have actually have a pretty big selection of stuff, and it's such a small town. They don't even maybe have a Walmart or a big grocery store. So the truck stop is kind of like the local store too.
Oh, gotcha.
There's places like that in little tiny towns. But so you guys have been exposed to it, so that's good because it's a little bit of a different thing, you know, because the average person sometimes isn't exposed to it.
Yeah, like I was thinking the other day, it's like everybody, most people have, they're in their town, their state, and they've got friends and family in that town and state. And it's like for us, for Michelle and I, and even for you because you're on the road too. It's not just your state or your town anymore. It becomes like the whole country, or in your case, even the world, because you're going to different countries. So, your country becomes like the United States to us, just becomes like our own little town. So,
It's funny you should bring that up. I'm glad we're getting into this kind of stuff because what I was going to say is when I was driving a taxi and limo in Denver, I had this little nucleus from the airport to downtown, the tech center. I was in this little like matrix. I was in this little zone, and I see the trucks going by, and I thought, I want to expand my horizons. So I got to know Denver really well, grid. And you're exactly right. I can think of Portland, I can think of Seattle, I can think of Sacramento. And when I go there, I'm just like a land pilot. I go there, I'm like a pilot making their approach to like the Seattle airport. I'm now making the approach to Seattle. Here we go. Troutdale. Yeah, Troutdale, there's a TA and there's a Love's, exit 265 or whatever. I get to know all the exit numbers. And it's really a cool thing because you get to know the whole country
right.
becomes like your home. And it's no longer like a road trip you take once a year with the family. It's like, hey, where do we want to go now?
Yeah. And you realize that, the people are the same everywhere pretty much. Like if you're really really sheltered living in a box, you kind of get afraid of like other people and traveling. And that was me. I used to be afraid, like, oh, stopping for gas in a different town, or is this a rough area or whatever.
Really?
Now I just don't care. Yeah, whatever. This was back, when we first started
No,
traveling.
it definitely expands your horizon. And
Yeah.
then when I was doing the driving Japan, 4 months going to Japan and traveling around in the bullet trains, it really changed my whole psyche because I got kind of comfortable with the United States being my big home,
Hmm.
and then flying 6,000 miles and getting out to Tokyo and then being on this bullet train that goes 168 miles an hour and just traveling all over, like not speaking any Japanese, getting comfortable with it. My truck driving actually was an
We're back.
and so it was an asset. So yeah, it definitely expands your horizon. And that's why that's what there you are.
Yeah, I'm coming
Um,
back. I'm here.
what I'm
Oh,
saying
it
is I'm
totally.
glad you have that. I'm glad you have that sense. I'm glad you hit on that because that's what it does. It's not just about, it's a way to make a living or this is a job. It expands your whole vision of who you are. You're it just changes you,
Yeah, and there's
so
there's places to see
that's what
that,
I'm
man.
excited. I'm
There's so much beauty out there in that world that, you're meant to go explore it. That's really what we've kind of adopted as our main principle of life. Of course, back in the 9 to 5 days, we wanted to do that as much as possible. But, with 1 to 2 weeks off a year and, working 50 hours a week or whatever, it's like there's not much time to really enjoy life at that point. So,
no and it to me, even this dedicated, even though it's somewhat short distance, I think it's only 300 miles. It's like, well, I remember when I was driving a taxi cab, I go 25 or 30 miles, and a big trip was like 90 miles. And now I think of a 300-mile run. Oh, this is a kind of short, just quick 7 hours. This is kind
yeah.
of like commuting to work. And it's really a trip when I go from Phoenix to Southern Cal. I spend the night, and right back to Phoenix again, and then right back and I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I think I'm in Phoenix every other day. And that these poor people that are in Phoenix that maybe commute like 10 minutes to work and they never even go outside the city.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so blessed to do that.
Oh,
I love the mobile minimalist life is awesome. And you
100%.
got you guys are living it, but obviously trucking is just another way of doing it, and your way living the van life is another way of doing it.
Hmm.
And and there's ways to combine the two. Like I've actually thought about when I'm going to semi-retire, I'll probably get a van because I can park it in the terminal parking lot.
Yeah.
and go travel a little bit with the truck and then come back and say, here's my keys. I'm gonna go travel around the van for 3 weeks and I'll
Yep.
see you next month.
There you
And
go.
kind of combine the two so that
Exactly.
I'm semi-retired. It's kind of fun. I'm semi-retired in a semi truck. So that you can just find your own
Semi-retired, semi-truck, semi-retired. That could be the next channel.
semi-retired. By the way, bro, I think we should probably wrap it up. Um,
Yeah.
we'll tune in next week. Same channel, same time next week sometime. Who knows?
Yeah, the
Hopefully
weekends
I'll be
work out good.
home. I was really lucky. I got home on Friday afternoon. I was originally not going to get home till Saturday night, till tonight. So it's all good.
Yeah, glad it all
So,
worked out. Seemed like you had a busy week, but it seemed like everything was productive all around.
well, part of it is Madeline is so cool to have a boss who's just so, she's just like a guardian angel. Like when I went to pick up my load and the people said, "Oh no, your load's not till tomorrow." I've got to be in Phoenix tomorrow. And I just texted her, call me. And she called me. She was off duty and she calls me on the phone. What's up? Madeline, I have to be in Phoenix tomorrow and I don't have a load. Let me get you one right now. Here's a load. You're covered. I took care of it. You're such a guardian angel. Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I do.
that's what it's
And
all
then
about.
she saved me. And then I text her, hey, I got my load. She just types in, awesome. Just really cool to work with someone like that. And then my driver manager, his name's Michael too. Yours is Mike, his is Michael. He's so zen, like you'd like him. He's so chill. He's just really laid back. Like when I decided to sleep on the way to Phoenix, I was kind of panicking because I wasn't going to be able to do my return to Southern Cal. And he's just like, don't worry about it, bro. The load was canceled. You can just relax all day. Don't worry. It's like this whole vibe of don't worry, be happy.
Absolutely.
And
That's
and
it.
and, and, and then when I came back, I told him I'm going home. And he was joking with me. He goes, you have about 7 hours left today. We have another load you could do. I said, I'm pretend I'm not even here. I'm already gone. Here.
It's
I went
awesome to
home.
work
So
with great people like that.
the, the bottom line, it really, really is cool to have a profession I love, but work with people that treat you really well. And you don't even think of it as a job. Oh, I had one quick question for you because this happened to me today. I was talking to someone from Apple. I told him about my channel, and he said he wants to check it out. But I said the problem is if you type in driving to Tokyo in the search engine, you're going to get all these videos on driving. And so I don't know how, if I randomly talk to someone on the phone or something and want to check out driving to Tokyo, how do I tell them how to check it out?
So you just want to copy the link. Two things. You can copy the link and keep that in your notes on your phone. So let's say you meet somebody that wants to see it, boom. Now you can just text them the link, copy and paste, done. Or if they're with you right there, they pull up YouTube, they can type in driving to Tokyo, and then they have to touch on the filter. Like there's a filter. You can filter out videos. You can filter out your search to what shows up. So if you type in driving to Tokyo and then you change the search filter to channel, it's going to pull up all the channels having to do with driving to Tokyo, and yours will be the first
Oh,
one because
okay.
yours is really the only channel that's named that. So that's
Good. So if I'm on the phone with this guy from Apple, he said, I want to check out your channel. I can just
right.
say, type in driving to Tokyo,
And
but
then
on the
right next to the
filter,
search bar, yeah, at the search bar, you should see like a, here, I'll do a quick little, let me do a quick little demonstration.
sorry, bro, for keeping you. I know you're
Oh,
working
no.
overtime now, so I
Oh,
probably.
stop. This is all good.
See, I'm still the grasshopper. He's my guru. He's my internet guru, so I'm still learning.
That's it, man. All right, so I'm just pulling up. I want to see it. Okay, perfect. Here we go. I'm gonna switch it over to share the screen.
And it's cool. This will be on our weekly recap, so
Yeah,
people
so
can
it's right
refer
there.
to this.
So yeah. So basically, I typed in driving to Tokyo up here at the
Hey,
top.
we got to do more of this, bro. What you just doing now? Let's do more of this. This is
Sure.
really cool.
So driving to Tokyo up here at the top, and
Uh-huh.
then filters right here. You see that? So
Uh-huh.
on your phone, you'll probably just see this logo right here, the little
Uh-huh.
bars. So you click on that,
Uh-huh.
and then under the type category, channel.
Okay.
Click on that, and it's gonna pull up your channel first right there. See that?
Wow.
So that's
That
it.
is majorly cool. That was just worth it all right there.
So that's
That
gonna
is
be the
cool.
deal.
Bro, that is so cool. And then I could just tell him that that's easy to explain.
Yep.
And that is really cool.
And
We
then I
got
could
to do more of this on our future Zoom. Let's take a topic like this and do this little screen share kind of tutorial. Remember, we're all about
definitely.
education, so someone comes and watches this, because they might have their own channel too, and they're in the same situation where they don't know how to they don't
Well,
know how to
I've been
share
working
it too.
I've been working with people with their YouTube like setup, and like same thing. It's like these little navigation things like are like what kind of can piss people off. They're like, "Well, how do I get there? Where's my thing? Where's that?"
Yeah.
And so it's like these little things that yeah, I definitely agree we should do. You know, keep doing little things like this. So yeah, as they come up, we'll do a screen share and you
I'll
know,
try to think of something
yeah,
else for next week, like a couple things, because that's really super cool right there. Because that came up. He was really sincerely interested, and he was an Apple guy, and he actually coincidentally he had a CDL at one point, and we got to talking. He goes, "Yeah, I drove a truck once." And so he would have been, who knows how many people he could turn at Apple. He's working on the phones there. How many
yeah,
people he could
a
turn
lot of
on
stuff
to?
happens from just talk, you know, word of mouth, people you meet. Like that's the thing. I actually want to work on. I have it in the back of my mind. I looked into it last week. Uh, I actually didn't want to get. I wanted to get your feedback on it. What do you think about having like a business card? And it's not really like a business card. It's just a card that you know has your information, who you are, your channel, how people can find you, and you
Oh
know,
no, no, because here's why, bro. Here's why. You know, we're all busy truck drivers, and so we're feeling side by side, but I might strike up a conversation. We don't have any time. I don't have time to write stuff down. You got to make it as easy as possible. Just, hey, bro, if you're interested, here's the information on this card. Check it out.
yeah,
You know, and you can, and they can be really cheap to print.
yep, yeah.
You
Oh,
know, if I have a
simple.
thousand of them or something, or 100 of them, or 1,000, whatever, 500 of them, I could pass those cards out. And what you do is I go, the personal development thing, say, my intention this week is I want to pass, start small and say, I want to pass out 50 new cards this week. And
Right.
then you get into the groove then, okay, now I want to do 7. And then before you know it, you're passing out 100 cards every week.
Yeah, and you know that's
That
the
all
thing.
adds up.
And even if you're at a truck stop or somewhere with like a little like you know little pin tack board or whatever where you can put
Yeah.
a card, you know, same thing. So I'll continue looking into that. I will come up with a design. I'll run it by you, and then I'll just order them and have them shipped to your house, and you can just you know go from
No,
there. We'll do
that
that.
would be awesome. Anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll get that going. I'll get that ideas on that going, and I'll run that by you before you know pulling the trigger on that though.
And we can, like we talked about, eventually can even have hoodies that say driving to Tokyo on them.
Yep.
Like
You can do
I,
all
I
that.
can even talk to Madeline and ask her, could it be cool if I even had a little like I'm night driver, just find out, because I really think there's something there for the thing you put on that trailer. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Is it hard, that intro, that thing you have with the night trailers and stuff? Is it hard to kind of make one of those trailers that actually says driving to Tokyo, high performance ninja team, taking you places you've never been before, where it's actually on a trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. The only thing with that is that it's really so fast that you know I don't think anyone's gonna be able to really read it because it's really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
But
And the other thing is,
I,
because it's night, I have to make sure it's cool with them.
I mean, it's. I mean, you're not doing anything really. You know, it's. You know, you're just. I don't know.
Well,
Where they're at, right? You know what I mean? It's like you could buy them.
I've been sending Madeline my videos. She's been
I'm
really,
sure they don't mind the free advertising.
no, 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 no.
Now, when you're
Especially,
making $5 grand a month on YouTube, maybe they might have something to say about it.
yeah. But anyway, it's all good. So anyway, it's been a good call today,
Yeah, good stuff,
and
my friend.
we'll take it on to the next step next week. So anybody watching this, please like and subscribe the channel, join the party. We'd love to have you. You know, if you enjoyed this, come back next week. You know, make it a weekend thing. You know, when you're at home, check out our channel, see how we're doing, see how we progress, subscribe. You know, just we'd love to have you. And if if some of you are truck drivers, tell other truck drivers about this. It's really, really cool. And we're going to have some good stuff. I'm going to be able to teach you. You know, I saved $38,000 last year, and I can teach you how to go to Japan. I can teach you how to pick out Airbnbs because I've done it. This isn't like a pie in the sky thing. I'm really into. I'm going to teach something I've actually walked the walk. I've done it. I've proven it can be done. Not something I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Japan someday. I've already proven it can be done, you know, and that's what this channel is about. I'm going to teach you things that can be done because I've done it. If I can do it, you can do it. And this gentleman here that I'm working with, he's also going to have the text side of it too. So if you ever get to the point you join us and you want a channel, you know, he's going to be able to fix you up just like he's fixed me up. And we can just keep this energy going. You know, you can have your own channel. You know, if I can have a channel, you can have a channel. If I can make a video, you can make a video. And I started with Video Matrix, by the way, a little plug with Video Matrix. If you want to take a baby step, do what I did. Just check out the Video Matrix because look what happened to me. I never dreamed I would end up doing this like a few months ago, and here I am. I'm proof it can be done. So anyway, that's what I have to say. Let's wrap it up.
That was a beautiful ending there, my friend. Good stuff. I love it. And
Well, I'm learning from the man.
oh, you're doing
I'm being
great.
a good
Hey, you're
grasshopper.
kicking butt. You're kicking butt. I love it. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great energy. Yeah, and thank you to everybody watching this on YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Definitely follow along. We've got some great stuff coming on. And yeah, there will be.
And on that note, I'm going to go to work and create some more content tonight because
How
I
many
have the weekend
videos
off.
are
This
you
is
going
my
to
favorite
upload
thing to do.
YouTube? How many videos are you going to upload to YouTube? That is the question. I want to see one up there in the
Well,
next 3 hours.
what's that?
I want to see one up there in the next 3 hours.
Well, that's it's so funny. I can make the videos, but I'm not really good at downloading them. I
Hey,
can
why don't-
almost
how about-
guarantee.
You have your laptop right there. Since you have an abundant amount of time this weekend, how about you try and create a video on your laptop and upload it from there, just so you can test out, you know, how that works for uploading processing, like how the speed is it better, is it faster, see if you like it, because
Now I have got onto my own channel and I could see that plus sign where you say plus download. And then where I've got caught up is that when I do the movie maker and I save it, it says save to your camera roll. So it should be there in the camera roll. So when I go plus on the YouTube channel, it should show that video I just was saved to the camera roll.
in a different folder, maybe, I don't know. You got
That's a little glitch.
We'll try
But I'll work.
from the MacBook. I want to see what you can do from the MacBook, because you might like the whole Mac computer, you know, editing thing.
Well, I'm willing to take stretch. Here's what I'm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good. No, I was just gonna say, do whatever you feel like doing though. At the end of the day.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Kind of a compromise. I want to definitely power out because it's prime time. I'm not in the truck. I'm at home. I want to send you a lot of videos. I'll do it on the Facebook wall, really, like a bunch of them. Maybe keep them fairly short, like 5 or 10 minutes, a bunch of them. And then I will make an effort to learn how to download with this. Now, I did look at the video. The iMovie on this is a little more complicated. It's not quite as easy as on the phone. It's a little bit more complicated, but it doesn't mean I can't learn it. and I'm with you. I need to start
Well,
graduating
check
to.
this out. Even if you create the thing on your phone, you can then move it onto your computer. So you can do all the creation on your phone and then connect your phone to your iMovie and then move over what you made and then upload it to YouTube from your computer. So you don't
See,
have
this
to
is
actually.
you're hitting this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you're here in my studio for real and you're sitting here with me, think how much I can learn on a weekend hanging out together, how many movies we can co-create in the weekend sitting here for like 2 days, and how
Definitely.
much quantum leaps I'm going to learn. Because you're explaining this to me, but with personal development, you show someone how to do it, you do it. We do this with training too. You do it, and then you have them do it. But there's nothing like the real thing. Like when you're in the truck, there, like I did with my friend Brian, there's certain things I can do. There's a weather thing coming on, but like if you're in the truck with me, I did this with Brian. I can say, um, Mike, I'm going to show you how to disconnect from a trailer and how to connect to a trailer. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, this thing's going. Oh, it's funny because I have three phones. They're all like
They're all
going
getting you the
crazy.
weather alert. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, child abduction, Amber Alert, all this
Oh,
stuff.
geez.
But anyway, anyway, the bottom line is when you're in the truck, I'll be able to say, Mike, this is how you connect a trailer. We're gonna have to go underneath the trailer with the fifth wheel, and then you're gonna hear it click, and then we're gonna connect the glad hand, and then then you do a tug test. Those are three things you're gonna do. Okay, then I'll show you. I'll actually do it, and then I'm gonna disconnect the trailer, and I disconnect, and I'm gonna watch you do it, and I'll walk you through it, and you're gonna actually like when you get in the truck. That's why I'm hoping I can get your driver's permit. But even if you don't have a driver's permit, there's certain things I can have you do without driving. There's a
Right.
ton of things like the Zonar, the trip planning, the hooking a trailer, everything. I can teach you everything but driving when you go out with me. So I'll be able to teach you like you're teaching me.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
so when we're out there, I'm going to be teaching you trucking and you're going to teach me how to be better at this. So it's going to be
Yeah.
like
I think it's
a
a
cool
it's a
exchange.
great connection. It's cool to both help each other learn something and be part of each other's story in a way. Who knows where all this information takes us. So I love it, my friend.
Well, we'll take it one week at a time.
It.
I'll close this out. We could go on forever, but I'll close this out. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel. We love to have you. Thanks for watching if you got this far. Mike, thanks for being on. And we'll see you all hopefully next weekend.
All
Over
right.
and out.
Thank you. Over and out.